Tune in right now, listen, find out your favorite stitch. Fashion with the Knit+Sip.
Hi y'all, welcome to the Knit+Sip podcast. I'm Kate and this is Arielle.
Hi.
And Arielle, like we've been saying, is going to take us through her Icelandic yarn adventure. So thanks for joining us. Do you want to talk first about what you're wearing? I'm not cool enough to be wearing anything I made today, but we'll let you.
I'm wearing the Cumulus tee that we did at our knit along last year.
Last year? Can you believe that? It was though.
By Petite Knit. And I don't remember what it's out of. I just know it's a cotton. Something in stash.
Yeah, good yarn to use for that. So tell us a little bit about the shops that you saw, the yarn that you bought, patterns, just, immerse us in Iceland.
So, back in May, June, my husband and I went to Iceland as part of our honeymoon. We got married a couple of years ago, but we wanted to take a trip now. We did 13 days in Iceland where we drove around the whole island on the ring road. And I planned out a ton of yarn shopping. It was such a fun woolly experience. So we stopped in at maybe 7 different yarn stores during our trip there. So first was in Reykjavik. We stopped at the Hand Knitting Association of Iceland, which is, you absolutely have to do that.
So tell us about that. What is that and what's that like?
So it's this amazing store. It is I think like maybe a cooperative of knitters who hand knit things, exactly like it says. So they make hats, they make sweaters, mittens, and all of these finished objects are for sale at the store. But they also, in the back of the store, they have a little yarn shop, which has a lot of the Istex, Let Lopi, and different types of Lopi for sale in all sorts of different colors. A lot of the women who do the knitting, they also design sweaters. So you can flip through some of the Lopi sweater books. And a lot of them also have their patterns available on Ravelry too.
Oh, wow.
So it was just a really fun experience getting to walk through the store, seeing what are the different things that people have made and designed, the different color combinations that they've used for the sweaters, the variations. So you might have a pullover, hooded or not hooded. You might have the same thing as a cardigan, the zipper, some things that's short sleeve, long sleeve. So you could see all the different variations.
Wow.
So it was just so cool to see it all. I found, walking through, there's one that really caught my eye. It's like, I want that sweater. So the women there helped me find this one's actually, it wasn't in one of the books, or it wasn't.
Hold it up.
Yeah, that'd be great. It wasn't a book, but the book was in Icelandic. So she helped me get the designer's name so that I could look it up on Ravelry. So this is the Saeros, which is by, I'm going to butcher this, so I apologize, but Dagbjörg Gudmundsdottir, the designer. But yeah, so I love this sweater design. I was able to just turn around in the store and pick out the colors that I wanted to use for it, which are very close to what she had, with the one hanging in the store is using.
Beautiful color work.
Love that. And the women there are just so helpful with any questions you might have, with helping you find things, just talking about fiber art. So that was so much fun. It was a great stop. We went back maybe once or twice. A bit more. This is out of the Istex Let Lopi is the wool for it.
We can put a link to that yarn also,
which it's, I think it's pretty available in the US as well, but when you purchase it there, it is just so affordable.
Okay.
Because it works out to maybe only be like $4 USD per 50 gram ball or something like that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the price point on it here.
It's not.
In the US.
It's not twice as much here.
Right.
So also while we were there, I got some.
Yes,
of
tell us
this
about all the
yarn.
brands that you saw. That one might be one we're familiar with, but some of these I'm definitely not. And we'll put pictures too.
Don't know how to say it. Gilhagi wool mill. So this is from a local farm in Iceland that they mentioned to me. We didn't actually go there, but love that I could get some of their yarn. And then I got the Socks of Iceland by Elaine Magnuson book.
Oh, wow. Did you see a lot of really neat socks made up and little samples over there?
You
or
know,
not
we didn't
really.
see so many socks.
Okay.
And even like flipping through this book, it's interesting because the patterns that she has in here, I think that they're inspired by more mitten patterns.
Oh, okay.
And so you
I can see that.
color work and designs from the mittens that she's translating to socks. So I think that's really cool. I'm excited to do it. Yes. And maybe I can make some matching mittens.
Will this be for socks or?
You know, I'm thinking probably, I don't know what that's going to be, but something with color work.
Something with color work, yes. Looks like lots of good color work options. We'll show you guys.
Thinking maybe that for some of the color work things that you're doing for your class.
Yes.
It might be nice, like a headband. Yeah,
that would be really cool. Yes. Oh, good. So, what else do you want me to hand you these?
That was the Hand Knitting Association of Iceland. So then we started our driving trip. We did like the Golden Circle, so lots of beautiful sights. And we went to Selfoss, which is where most of the rest of our yarn shopping happened.
Okay.
So our first stop was Hespa, and that one too. Actually, I'm so sorry. So Hespa is a fabulous little workshop. She's a natural dyer, so everything is naturally done. And these are on a lamb's wool, so it's the same wool processor as the Istex and like the Let Lopi, but these are all lamb's wool, which they don't use for their. I don't think they use them for the Let Lopi ones.
Okay.
But her name is Gudrun, and she will just tell anyone who walks into the store all about her process. She had 8 dye pots out, and she like showed us that this is what she's doing. She forges everything herself responsibly.
Was that something you could see? Were the grounds where she foraged on site, or was that
no? It was more like friends' farms and things like that. So, and she wants to keep her location secret.
Oh, okay, makes sense. That makes sense.
But yeah, so like this is one of the bases that she uses. She let us buy just some of the undyed so that we could pair it with some of the colors.
Pretty.
That one is going to go with this guy, which is the cochineal indigo.
Okay.
Which is just a beautiful variation in the colors.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Gorgeous blue, purple, burgundy. Wow.
And then all around the roadsides of Iceland, you'll see lupine flowers. I think they were brought in, but then they just became really invasive.
Oh, interesting.
And so they're everywhere. They're gorgeous, but she says that you don't have to worry about harvesting responsibly. Take as much of it as you want.
It's a weed.
So this is lupine root. Just nice, like yellowy, mustardy.
That came out really nicely for being basically a weed. That's really pretty. I know there are other weeds used in dyes, but that's just an interesting take on that.
And this is the indigo and madder root are the two things that she doesn't harvest herself. They don't have them in Iceland, so she has to import them. But this is madder root.
Okay.
I love how she just gets that variation in there. I think that's so cool. So I'm really excited to use those.
Did she say how that is going to knit up? Will it be self-striping? Will it be a bit more just random throughout? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But she had a lot that was kind of like that. There's really nice mixes of colors, different intensities. So we got a couple of non-yarn things from her. So she has a book, The Plants of Iceland, with the traditional uses in folklore. So this was actually her master's thesis.
Oh my gosh.
So
that she made into a book. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Cool. That's so cool. And during COVID, obviously they had a lot less tourism.
Right.
And so she made a puzzle. And I didn't bring the puzzle, but I brought the picture from the puzzle.
Oh, wow.
And it's all of just different yarns that she's dyed. And on the back of this little reference card, she's got what went into making them.
The dye, right.
Yeah, so I thought that was so cool.
That would be a puzzle. That's a great puzzle. Love that idea. And then that would be, I know it's not a great picture. We can post a better one, but that's really neat. Wow.
So I'm excited for how much entertainment we'll get out of that puzzle.
Oh, yes.
Inspiration for knitting.
That's right. All the good colors and the way that she put all of the colors together. That's really interesting and very cool to see.
So she is fabulous. Just a lot of fun to talk to and browse her store. Everything was so pretty. I think that's where we spent the most time, probably.
So if we were looking on a map, so you said you started in Reykjavik. Did you go, east, west from the north, south?
Yeah.
What's the trail like?
So we went counterclockwise around. So Reykjavik's kind of like the southwestern corner.
Okay.
And this was actually really Selfoss, where a lot of the yarn places were that we went, is maybe only like an 45-minute or an hour drive straight from Reykjavik.
Okay. Wow.
We took a roundabout way to get there because we did the Golden Circle first. But yeah, like a lot of this is, especially along the south coast, is very accessible to Reykjavik.
Oh, great. Yeah. All right. Well, so where did you travel next?
Yeah, so then next, still in the same city, so maybe like 20 minutes away from.
So not really travel. Where did you stop next?
We went to the Thingborg Wool Workshop. I didn't get too much there, but I think that they had they also use the lamb's wool base, but they do more acid dyes.
Oh, okay.
But then they also had a ton of like little buttons, and I thought that these were cool. These were little reindeer antler buttons.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Which I used on my Take Your Time cardigan by Hoki Locatelli that I just finished, and they match the reds in there perfectly. They've got like a little tinge of red around the edges.
Wow!
So
that's so interesting. It was beautiful. I saw it, and it just blended. That's really neat. We'll have to show a picture of that the cardigan.
Yeah. And then we went to Upspony, so again, same area near Selfoss, but this is a mini mill, and they have a whole like sheep to skein operation there.
Wow, that's amazing.
So, yeah, it's really cool.
Cool.
And that's where we got these three guys, which I have in a sweater quantity for my mom to make. She hasn't seen them yet.
Oh.
But
we won't tell her you were here.
So that's gonna be really nice.
So did you get to meet the sheep? Do you know their names or anything?
No, we did not meet the sheep, but we had a good conversation with one of the owners. I think she told us, I don't remember. I want to say she had something like 100. Is that right? That might not be right. She told us how many sheep she has. I don't remember. But they have everything in the store is kind of organized by like dye lot, and they have a bunch of natural and dyed yarns. But you could see like especially the natural yarns, you could see all the variations, right? So there are like 5 different types of white, 5 different types of browns. And so I think that's where my husband, Chris, who loves color theory and seeing how colors go together, that's where he spent most of his time, was just finding which were the whites with cool undertones and which were the whites with the warm undertones, and picking out what would go perfectly for the sweater.
I love it if you get to if you know that your yarn came from Sheep George or whatever, if it had said this is from the sheep.
Also from the same shop, we got more for like mitts or accessories. I have a nice white and like very dark brown.
This is definitely, it feels a little softer than some of the others as well.
And it's actually, we felt a sample in the store that made me fall in love with this.
Yes.
It must have been blocked and washed I don't know how many times. It was so soft. It had this gorgeous halo around
It would. So I don't know how well you can see this. Again, we'll take pictures, but there's definitely a little bit of a halo there. So pretty.
Super excited for these too.
Nice. This will be beautiful.
So then, yeah, we spent a long time there chatting and picking out our colors. And then we moved kind of to the southeastern side of Iceland. Yeah, you can stop at a lot of waterfalls along the way. Got to stop at a glacier along the way.
Oh my gosh.
We end in Vik, it's a city. There's a Katla wool studio. And Gudrun from Hespa recommended it to us because they do a lot of machine knitting for her.
Okay.
She uses her yarn for a lot of blankets and samples in the store. So they do all of her blanket machine knitting.
Wow.
And we got this Lopi, Istex Lopi yarn, Fjall Lopi, which I think is a newer one. It's more of like a lace or fingering weight.
Okay.
And so Chris got a sweater quantity there. So I have a cardigan in my queue. I actually just started a gauge swatch today. So.
Oh, nice. Those colors will look very nice on them.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
And yeah, it's so cool because it also it looks a lot like some of the glaciers that we saw in that area too, because there's with the volcanic ash, there's a lot of black mixed in with it. So
interesting.
This really matches a lot of the landscape that we saw.
Wow. That's so great. Is that why he picked it, or is it more because I think those colors would look good on him? So was that more the inspiration, or was it?
I think that he was just really drawn to these colors.
Okay.
So I don't think it was as much the glacier, but maybe because we had actually just come from seeing the glacier maybe the day before, probably.
Okay.
And actually, we did this right after we did a glacier hike, so maybe it was just on his mind. The landscapes are so cool. Like it looks like it should be a black and white picture, even though you're taking pictures in full color. So yeah, it'll look great for him, but this is what he was drawn to. So.
And I feel like you said there's sheep everywhere. So speaking of the landscape, a lot of sheep.
Sheep everywhere. So especially when you get out of the cities, as you're driving around, it's just fields upon fields upon fields of sheep for hours, and it never gets boring. We were there in the spring, and so a lot of the babies were born, and we'd see the mamas with 2 babies, and it's so great. And a lot of the hikes that we were doing might have been on or through private land, or grazing land at least. So, they're at these sites.
Oh my gosh.
You're hiking on the trail, potentially right next to them. I have some great pictures I could share with you of the sheep because I was obsessed with them the entire time.
That's awesome. Yes, please share lots of pictures with us. So I'm going to ask a little bit of a different question in that I know, so I have not, since I really started knitting, like really getting into it, and especially learning about different kinds of fibers, dyes, just really kind of deep diving into knitting, I haven't really since that time had the opportunity to travel abroad much and see a whole lot of different, just different yarns and what, yarn shops and sourcing and everything looks like in other countries. And I mean, I know in theory about it, but I've never actually seen it. But I know that you have traveled abroad other places than Iceland. So tell us about, Iceland compared to other places that you've traveled with as far as yarn and what you've seen.
I think it's really just exciting in Iceland because, knitting can be more of a, not necessarily a niche thing, but it's, something that people might do at home, and maybe they'll wear their knitwear, but it's not necessarily common that you'll see people wearing knitwear.
Right.
Similar to the US, I think. So when we travel, I do try to seek out yarn shops and go and visit. Some places it's easy to, some places it's a little harder to find something that might be open while we're there. But in Iceland, it's so different because it is such a huge industry that, I mean, again, sheep are everywhere. They're a huge part of life. You get the Icelandic sweaters, the lopapesas, are an important souvenir thing that tourists will get, or even people who live there in Iceland. You know, their grandmothers or their moms might be making them lopapesas. So you're just seeing knitwear everywhere, and they're perfect for the weather too.
What was the weather in May?
Weather in May, it was really nice for part of our trip. Maybe like mid 40s in the morning, so a little chilly, but maybe up to 50s, 60s during the day. I would wear my hand knit sweaters on hikes, and it was just perfect because it could keep me warm, but I'd also get some breeze through the sweater. And with it being temperature regulating inside businesses and buildings, they use all geothermal heating, and so it would just be so warm on the inside.
Right.
So with the temperature regulating wool, that was fantastic, you know, just being in and out. So I felt like a wool sweater is perfect for being in Iceland. And so people wear them all the time, and you'll see tourists wearing them, and you'll see locals wearing them. We had an ice cave tour, and somebody complimented the sweater our guide was wearing, and he's like, "Thanks, my mom made it."
Oh.
I actually saw another guide on that same tour, but another guide was wearing my sweater.
Oh, that's so cool.
In blue. Oh, so I like turned to Chris like, "That's my sweater."
That's so cool.
But so I think it's just really exciting there because
it's just part of the culture.
Part of the culture, and you just see the hand knit stuff everywhere.
And there's yarn in grocery stores.
And there's yarn in grocery stores. I didn't even say that. Yeah. We went to a grocery store to look for an ice scraper because speaking of weather, we like ran into an ice storm on the north side.
No.
So that part wasn't so great. But we were looking for an ice scraper in like a grocery convenience store, and there's just this whole wall of yarn.
Oh my gosh.
That's like being in a craft box store here. So, you know, if you're in the middle of the night, you need more yarn.
Anyone else needed yarn in the middle of the night? Yeah. I have come to my store in the middle of the night. Yep. That's happened. I'm like, oh, I'm so close. And then I just...
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I think there's a lot of pride in the industry there.
As there should be. Definitely. Oh, wow. That's amazing. So as far as, you know, your favorite fiber related thing that you saw or did, tell us about maybe the top thing that we should think about doing if we go over there.
I would say visiting Hespa.
Okay.
Is definitely the top because Gudrun was so warm, welcoming. She reminds me a lot of you.
Oh, thanks. Well, hopefully I can meet her someday.
She was so excited to just share her process with anyone.
And she had the dye pots. Was that? Yes. Okay.
She was at the dye pots. She had all of her yarn is naturally dyed, but she's just so passionate about it.
Awesome.
So it was a lot of fun to kind of go through her store and see everything, pick out our colors that we wanted.
And it sounds like she'd got some great, you know, ideas with the puzzle and things like that too. Like that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I didn't even buy everything in there. There's samples to see. She does like little sampler hat kits where you could get like several balls of more like scrap yarn that she has, but yeah, make yourself a little hat if you want to try everything. Like she just has so much stuff in there. It's fun.
Oh, that's really cool. Wow. Oh, good. Well, we'll have to hopefully plan something to go over there sometime. And if you guys are planning, let us know. And sounds like we've got some great tips and everything. I think you said you went through a travel company and everything to help plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's called, let me double check the name. Yeah, the Nordic Visitor. So it's probably a little bit more expensive than if we planned it ourselves, but that makes sense. People are trying to make a living.
Right.
But we would tell them, these are the dates that we want to be there. This is how many days we want to spend. If we had specific things that we wanted to do, we let them know. But they booked our rental car for us. They booked our hotels for us. So we got this whole packet from them that just said, here's your itinerary.
Cool.
The only thing we just need to do is make sure that we were at the right place each night. But that was, they made it really easy, I think, to kind of follow. And then every night we would just sit down with our Rick Steves travel book. We would sit down with the packet that Nordic Visitor gave us. And,
with your yarn from the day.
Right. And we would say that, like, this is what we're going to do tomorrow, and just plan out our next day. So that made it, I don't know, just really easy and more vacation-like than if you have to plan it all out yourself.
Good. Now, my one question for you is that, so we'll get people in the store sometimes, on both ends of this, where some people say, I love the woolly wool, I want the woolly wool, the woolly wool is what it's all about. And then some people who are like, I want to knit with wool, but I basically don't want it to feel like wool, which we've got you covered on both sides of that. But this, even, to be honest, some of it, not all of it, but some of it it's like it's the woolly wool, maybe the next level of what it's the real wool. Like, it's like, I have the real wool. This is like maybe another level of that. So tell me about what it feels to work with, to wear. Is it something that, are you converted to like, this is what I really want, or do you like other kinds of fibers? I want some feedback.
We'll see, because I haven't worked with the woolly wool as much before.
Okay. But you made a beautiful
so I haven't,
sweater.
I haven't worn the sweater.
Okay.
Other than trying it on.
Well, yeah, because it's like 100 degrees here. Yeah.
But it was so much fun working with the woolly wool, and I loved making the sweater. And I think that's going to be the wooliest, the scratchiest. Right,
it does. It feels, this one feels maybe like it's the wooliest of all.
But I think that I would do it again, because I love how much the color work pops on it.
Okay.
It is so light. So I think we talked about it. It's probably
woolen spun versus worsted, right?
Yeah. So it's so light. Like, it feels a lot lighter than I thought that sweater would feel like.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm really excited to get to take it out for a spin when it actually gets cold here.
We hope it will someday.
But I am, so unless that goes terribly, I am converted. I think that it was so much fun to make. It's really sticky. It's just so easy to work with.
Did you use wooden or metal needles?
That's a great question.
I'm trying to figure out if it would stick so much on wooden needles that it would almost be a problem. I don't know. I'm just curious.
I think I used wooden.
Okay.
So it's usually my go-to, but I don't remember.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely have knit with, like the Harrisville designs and stuff, which is more woolly wool. Again, I think this might be a level above that of woolly wool. But yes, and not had a problem on wooden. I was just curious. It does seem like it might be a little stickier. So
I think it's going to be, it feels like it will be really durable.
Yes. It sounds like it.
And so if I need to, I figure I'll wear a thicker, heavy, just a thicker sleeve shirt underneath it.
Right.
And hopefully that would help if it's too much. But yeah, I'm really excited to try it out.
When you get to wear it, I definitely will have to share an update about that, because I definitely want to hear about what it is going to end up, being like as a garment. So it's so beautiful. I mean, I have to think no matter what, it's going to be worth it, even if you're like, oh, it's a little scratchy, but it's so beautiful. So
I think that these dyes are also going to be a great option.
Oh, yes.
These from Spunny, because they have a process.
Yeah, they definitely don't seem.
They remove the guard hairs from these.
Okay.
Interesting. Probably a little bit more expensive, but they were so soft.
Right. They definitely are. Yes. Definitely not everything here is. I was just thinking, first impression is that for sure, like, we're not talking superwash merino here. This is the other end of that. This is the real Icelandic yarn. And I can't wait to get some good pictures of it so that people can really see, I mean, the incredible halo that they all must have, because yes, it's just beautiful and amazing yarn. Well, thank you for sharing your experiences with us, and hopefully some of you guys can get to go to Iceland. I know I don't have anything that exciting planned. We're going to Michigan next week.
There's some really great yarn shops in Michigan.
That's right.
And when I wore one of my hand knits in Michigan to the farmer's market, I got like 10 compliments.
Okay.
So
well, maybe we'll have to see. I think we're going to mostly be at the beach.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay. So, but hopefully you guys can get to go to Iceland, and at least now for now, I feel like I can live vicariously through you, and this is really cool to see. So, and once you start making up the rest of the things with all of your wool, we'll have to post some updates too of that and what your sweater is like. So, well, thank you all for tuning in. Lisa and I will be back in a couple of weeks. And cheers. Thanks, you.
Bye.
Bye.